Oh, hello. Good evening. Donnie's frozen. We're starting well.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, nope.
Nope,
We're
you're
good now?
back?
We're good?
I think so.
Okay. Okay.
And we're
Okay.
good.
And we're good. Still good. Still good.
Hi.
They don't hear you at all, Donnie. Yes, as we all know, it wouldn't be a Gamers Week stream if there weren't technical problems.
Oh, not that we want to hear, Donnie.
Oh, what about now? What
Oh.
about now? Wow, retro AF. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I thought Donnie was supposed to be good with machines. Okay, so every time I reboot my PC, something always changes in OBS. Yeah, now you can hear me. Something always changes in OBS, and I have to play detective, so I have to wait till somebody says, "Oh, we can't hear you," or "We can't see anything," or yada yada yada. So I do apologize. Thank you. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everybody. You guys ready to get this thing started?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Gamers Week Podcast. Like the name says, we analyze the best, worst, and weirdest headlines of the past week in the video game industry. This is episode 149, and today is Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. My name is Donnie G. Retro, and I will be your host this evening, but as you can see, I am not alone. My first co-host was just recently discovered that his web shooters are more powerful than Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland all combined. He is the ultimate Spider-Man. Please say hello to Mr. Ryan Pate, aka Retro Spider Brews.
I love that nobody will understand that context.
Nobody
I love that
will.
it's going to stay that way. It's going to completely stay that way, right? This is, it's like what
It's gonna
happens.
cost you if you want it to stay that way.
What happens pre-show stays pre-show. It's like Vegas, right?
Not
So,
always.
yeah, unfortunately. I'm very pleased with this.
I'm glad you like it. And my second co-host has a new line of feminine products coming out based on Lord of the Rings. Now, whether you choose Rivendouche or Shire Fresh, she's got something for your Mordor. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Writer's View, aka Blue Williams. Blue, how are you doing this evening?
Oh, 3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks in a row.
We've bled it dry. We've rinsed out the wash rag. It's dry. It's bone dry.
Yep, I don't think I'm the one who's obsessed with Stinky Aragorn. I think it's been you two the entire time.
Stinky Aragorn.
It's that must.
Oh. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into our reviews, reactions, and requests for this week. At Chuck Forever says, as a Canadian, new AAA console games already cost me $100 after taxes for the vanilla edition. So what are they on about pricing GTA 6 for that price?
Well, it's $100 Canadian. So if we're talking about an exchange rate, but also from my experience, shopping in Canada for games is more expensive considerably. So I don't know. I don't think the exchange rate is that bad. I want to say it's like $100 Canadian is probably $75, $80 US. So they're still paying more already. Right. So if we're talking
free
about
healthcare, more expensive games, I think they still got the better end of the deal.
yeah, I'll take the free healthcare because if you live in Windsor, just go across the border, pick up the cheap games, and come back.
Hey, good evening, Mania's Chase.
Hello, hello.
Mr. Thou says, I'm excited by the Switch 2 reveal and trying not to be underwhelmed by convincing myself that this is what I was hoping it would be. There is nothing wrong with the Switch. In fact, it's damn near perfect in my opinion. So just a more powerful version is really all they needed to make.
Exactly. In Nintendo's history, like every time they've had a knockout console, they followed it up with something weird and lost money and then had to regroup the next time around.
Right.
So this time they're just not doing that. And I think that's the right call.
And
So
it
maybe
started with the N64.
Yeah. So maybe they're past their experimental phase now and just looking to settle down?
It was a phase.
Okay. And at Tony Majors says, I had to send in my props for the joke about Michael Jackson's sex robot that Retro Game Brews dropped about Not My Lover. That got a good chuckle out of me. I do have to correct you all on the pronunciation of ease. Donnie mentioned owning a few on TurboGrafx. There are only 3 games, but part 1 and 2 are on the same disc, and it seems he hasn't played them. You're correct. I only say that because on E's Book 1 and 2 on TG16, the opening intro says the name of the title in clear Red Book audio. During the cast, you kept pronouncing it with a ye as in yeehaw, and it's more of an ease as in ease of use. I bring it up so as to maintain your retro cred in the community and to help you avoid all the hate mail from rabid actually Falcom fans. As always, I really enjoy the show and your chemistry, and here's to another year of Gamers Week podcast.
I love you, Tony. I just want to point that out. As one pedantic person to another, I approve this message.
Ryan can really appreciate this. It's like a fine wine to him.
Right. You see, yes. I can taste it. Oh, yes. I can taste his pain. Tony, I'm going to let you have this one. You're right. I do have E's 1 and 2 on the TurboGrafx 16. I really don't play it all that often. And if you're going to revoke my retro card on a obscure game on a system that not everybody really had, come on now, do better. I'm just kidding. I say that with all love and joking, man. Thank you very much for writing in to the podcast. We greatly appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
It's Yeezy Book 1 and 2.
Yeah, Yeezy.
It's the Yeezy. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our patron shoutouts.
All right, well, we couldn't do what we do without the help of our gorgeous patrons. Here are the generous folks supporting Gamers Week on Patreon. We have a new patron to announce. A big thank you and welcome to Puzzle, which joined our Patreon,
About 5 minutes ago.
About 5 minutes before we started. So thank you so much. They'll be joining number 1 Blue Sick Boys fan, John Barron, Sassy Sony, Evo Lust, Rai's secret best friend, Mega Retro Man, Gamatroid, Mora Deeb, Michael LeKite, Emo S, Bill Tucker, The Real Retro Game Brews, Fook Cakes, Pickled Pepper, Ducks with Thick Thighs. Absolutely the best podcast, a work in progress. Wizard of Zardoz, Bobson Dugnut, Blues Little Sis, Loudmouth, Retroblast Pat, B&T Zilla Guy, The Mad Milkman, Seven Castle Forest, Crunchy Kong, Sheriff Snacks, Frank Grande, Love Retro BTW, Steven Sand, Ramboski, Terry Kinnair, A-Gil 2020, and Don't Make Me Pull This Car Over. Games with Coffee, Hybrid Divide, You Fall Before Me, Davey PGH, The Pixel Pond family, including Shannon and Luke, and Zach. Huge thanks. If you like what you hear today, we really hope that you do. Please consider joining us on Patreon. Your support helps cover the cost of producing the show, as well as other cool stuff we'll be doing, like prizes and giveaways. You'll also gain access to our bi-weekly patron-only bonus cast called Gamers Week Uncut, Patrons with Benefits. Visit patreon.com/gamersweek or follow the link in the show notes.
Puzzle Better in the chat says, now I am gorgeous.
Mwah! Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Thank
And
you,
Cola
Puzzle
in the
Better.
chat says, praise Jesus.
Praise Jesus.
Praise Jesus. All right, let's jump into this week's headlines. Sony has canceled 2 more live service games. I'm sorry. Oh, shit. Sorry. My fault. I messed up. Let's go ahead and jump into this week's headlines.
Our headline segment is proudly sponsored by the Retro Game Club podcast. It's a fantastic, family-friendly retro gaming podcast. In each episode, Rob and Hugh pick 2 games to play and discuss, as well as news, interviews, and other topics. But it's the end of an era for Retro Game Club. After 6 years, Hugh is retiring, and this week is his final episode. So go ahead and visit them over at retrogameclub.net or follow the link in the show notes. So the show is going to continue. Rob will find a new host, but 6 years on one show, that's amazing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I used to follow another podcast that Hugh was on prior to this, and that's actually, Hugh is one of the few people that got me into podcasting itself. So super sad to hear that he's retiring, but as a podcaster, I get it.
What are you trying to say, Ryan?
Not
For real. I thought we were in this till we die.
But huge congratulations to Hugh. Not only 6 years with the Retro Game Club podcast, but also, I mean, I think he's been doing it for at least a decade and a half. So,
Wow.
yeah, very impressive backlog and catalog that he has, and
Mm-hmm.
we wish him the best, and we hope to hear from him still.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to shuffle off to the podcast retirement home and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and just rock back and forth, and
No, it's probably like every football coach who retires, and then they say, "Nope, I'm done. I'm retiring," and then 3 years later, you find them with another team.
That's a hell of a way to let them know, to let everybody know that you're going to a different podcast. You
I just mean you love the game too much. That's what it is.
Right,
You love
right.
the game too much.
Yeah.
You can't stay away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't choose to podcast. Podcast chose me. All right. So in this week's headlines, Sony has canceled 2 more live service games. One from its remake and remaster studio Bluepoint, and another from Days Gone developer Bend Studio in Oregon, the company confirmed to Bloomberg. The cancellations are the latest failures for Sony in the games as a service arena following the spectacular flameout of Concord in September 2024. In 2022, Sony acquired Destiny 2 developer Bungie and announced plans to have 12 live service games running by the end of the 2025 fiscal year. Those plans have failed to materialize after Sony revised that number down to just 6, of which Bend and Bluepoint's games were likely 2 of them. Already axed are Naughty Dog's The Last of Us PvP game, a rumored Spider-Man Online game, a live service Twisted Metal game, and a third-person Destiny spin-off titled Payback. This leaves just Bungie's Marathon and Haven Studios' PvP project still in the works, alongside continued support for Helldivers 2, which Sony is publishing.
Yeah. So if we think back to Concord, and I don't quite remember the number. Was it something like 200 million that we know of that cost Sony
Right.
just in the development deal for Concord, and that flamed out, and they lost all that money. So let's try to imagine here, how much money have they lost on this entire live service is the future of games, and that's all we're going to do from now on with a dozen live service games by the end of 2025. And one by one, they're shutting them down, canceling them. How much money in total do you think Sony has lost on this idea?
Oh, it's got to be over $1 billion at least.
Yeah.
At least.
Probably.
Right. But then again, if Microsoft can spend 69 billion on a studio, I would imagine Sony has plenty of capital to spend at least.
And $1 billion's not even that much money anymore.
I wouldn't mind it.
No kidding. I'm just saying
That's
in the
like a
whole
lot.
in the realm of video games,
Sure.
businesses and whatnot, $1 billion is nothing.
It's chump change, I pinch.
Yeah.
But and we've been kind of waiting to see what the downfall of, or what the consequences of Concord was going to be. We talked about it before. We said, okay, Concord is obviously the game itself was an absolute shit show, but it's going to impact the rest of the industry, right? My thought was that it was going to be the hero shooter genre was just going to be dead, but it now has completely shuttered, at least, the games as a service. And I mean, I'm not necessarily that broken up about it though.
No. Because we covered when they made that announcement, we're going to have 12 live service games by the end of 2025. We covered that on the show, and all of us were like, no, this is horrible. This is a bad idea.
Right.
But it all hinged from their purchase of Bungie, and Bungie itself has also kind of gone down in flames along with the live service. I wouldn't say it was a fad. It was really the hot thing for like 10 years. But as Destiny has kind of, like, people have gotten tired of it. They seem to have gotten tired of live service as a whole. Not every single game, but like the established heavy hitters, the ones that are grandfathered in. But any new titles seem to really kind of struggle unless they happen to catch lightning in a bottle, like Helldivers.
Right.
Yeah. Like with World of Warcraft, that was the live service game of all live service games back in, 20 years ago. And then subsequently other Yeah, right.
We don't need to see numbers. It's fine.
No. Other games came out like City of Heroes and some other stuff that wanted you to be constantly paying for their service every single month. And I don't feel like the collective society wants that anymore. It's they like, okay, so I play a game called Balatro. Blue, you play the game Balatro, whatever you call it, tomato.
Mhm.
And that's not a game like I feel like I would want to pay every single month to play it.
No, absolutely not.
And not every single game. And yet, just because it's you can force a game to be multiplayer doesn't mean that it has to be a live service game. And I think that's exactly what they're trying to do. That this whole idea of we want to get as much money out of the gamer as possible that we can just to keep our coffers filled. The gamers don't want that. You will see that head over heels, that they will reject that every which way that they can, because they're looking for value in their games to be able to spend the least amount of money and get the most value from that specific game.
I mean, the one advantage, of course, with live service games is that they obviously update and they put out new content and that kind of stuff. But they used to do that with just multiplayer games. Like that wasn't, you didn't have to buy a battle pass every, right?
Mhm.
In order to get the new stuff. I mean, I remember Halo used to come out with new maps all the time, which is great. They would come out with a new map, everybody would rush to go play it and have fun with it, and that'd be a whole thing. But live service was obviously this. It's almost like it was a workaround, right? It was this desire to extend the life of a game, to prevent them from having to incur additional costs from a development standpoint.
Well, yeah, they're essentially trying to reverse engineer it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not because the game was such that the content said this would be perfect for a live service. It's like, we want a live service. Let's go backwards from there and figure out how to shove some other game into that business model and make it work.
Right.
And 19 times out of 20, it doesn't. Not even close.
I will say I'm a little broken up about Twisted Metal.
Yeah, I would have been on top of that.
There's no way that was a bad idea to begin with. There's not enough to Twisted Metal to have an ongoing live service game.
I know.
Just stop ruining. Stop killing our dreams.
No, you put Twisted Metal
That's all
inside
you've
of
done the last 2 weeks is kill my dream.
one dream.
Yeah, just the odor of Aragon. That's the only dream I've killed.
You put Twisted Metal in a game like Grand Theft Auto, like it's a mini game or something, or a mini realm or something like that. There you go.
A DLC add-on to Grand Theft Auto.
Problem
something
solved.
Like that.
Yeah.
But it was never going to be its own live service game. That idea was dead in the water, if we're all being honest.
I'm just thinking of like you could have added additional weapons to certain cars or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Retro AF says, honestly, I have zero interest in the live service marathon, and what they showed doesn't even look like a marathon game. And Doogie Forever says, Concord was like Homer's car. Great ideas, but ugly and cost way too much.
Main Ace Chase says, hear me out. Twisted Metal, but the Fortnite formula. What do you mean?
Royale?
You mean 99
so 100
players?
cars, and instead of running around with guns, you're driving around wrecking the other cars.
I don't hate this.
No, I don't hate it at all.
Battle Royale? I mean, you could set up like a huge map, and yeah, it's got all the things that are. I mean, Twisted Metal already has the items that are spread out on, where you're picking up ammo and all that stuff, and.
It might work, as long as like the battle pass isn't too expensive, because I don't believe. When was the last Twisted Metal game that came out? I don't know off the top of my head. I don't remember, but I don't know if the player base would be there. Blues to Google. I don't know if the player base would be there to play or to justify having Twisted Metal as its own game.
Webhead said the odor of Aragon sounds like an unlockable ability.
It's a card. In, like Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, Twisted Metal 99. I think that could be.
Look
fun.
look what they did with F-Zero 99. Come on,
right?
It's going. It'll work.
So the last release was in 2012. Just Twisted Metal.
That's for a Twisted Metal BR. Retro AF is asking, would you have to parachute in and hunt for a car to drive and get run over by other players who already have a car? That's a very good
I
question.
don't hate this idea.
No.
Interesting. I like what's going on here. We're doing good work here tonight.
But
Somebody write this down.
Yeah.
Somebody write this down. Somebody make this happen.
The thing,
Satisfaction says, I'm turning slowly into pirating again because of all these different services and price hikes. It's just not affordable anymore.
I agree. I mean, I just
And Retro
canceled.
AF says, Sony should hire us. We can save them.
I just canceled my Amazon Prime membership because I don't really order a lot of stuff off Amazon Prime, and so far their programming sucks. And I don't need to just watch Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. No, thank you.
It's so freaking annoying.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Anyway.
But really quickly on the whole Twisted Metal as a Fortnite thing, Fortnite, everybody starts equally, right? Everybody has the same. You start off with nothing. You go in, you try to get guns. You try to get, I think you start off with a pistol and that's it. So I don't know if everybody should start in as a human being, getting a base car and then going around and getting upgrades, or if everybody starts with just a generic car by itself and then you drive around and start to get, you can pick up upgrades that somebody else is going for and have a battle that way. Could be something to think about. All right.
We'll have to beta test this.
We're coming for you, Sony. All right, moving on to the next topic. Arrowhead boss Shams Jorjani wants to get as many A-listers as possible for the Helldivers 2 film, as long as they all get killed violently. Jorjani shared his wish in the Helldivers 2 Discord while responding to a user who expressed hope that Chris Pratt, who seems to star in everything, won't be in the film. We're all hoping for as many A-list actors as possible, Jorjani wrote, as long as they all get killed violently, immediately. But Arrowhead may not have much of a say in the matter. Arrowhead Chief Creative Officer Johan Piletst said on X that while the studio will be involved in the film, it's not clear to what extent just yet. The long answer is that we'll see, Piletst wrote. We are not Hollywood people, and we don't know what it takes to make a movie, and therefore we don't and shouldn't have the final say. I applaud that. You don't know anything about it. Stay away, stay out of the mix.
Yes.
Let the people who know how to do this handle it.
But I love this idea.
Yeah, of course.
I'm
So
envisioning Willem Dafoe going in and being like, "It's time for a firefight!"
I mean, I don't know how much you want to turn this just into a meme machine. That would probably not be a good idea for the overall success of the movie. But like, if you ever watched Grand Tour on Amazon, it was the Top Gear guys after they got fired from Top Gear. Then Amazon picked up their contracts. They did a new show called Grand Tour. So the first season, they would have a segment where they would bring on a celebrity. They say, we've got, I don't even remember who it was. We've got Tom Cruise coming on for an interview. And then you would look out the window and see Tom Cruise walking up towards the tent where they shot the show. And he'd be like waving and like, hi or whatever. And then each week with the different celebrity, like big celebrities too, something horrible would happen on their way to the tent. And they would all be killed and it would be bloody and it would be hilarious. And they never actually like got to do the interview. It was just like a 30-second segment where they all died horribly. And that's what I'm envisioning for the Helldivers 2 movie.
Which celebrity would you like to see be horrifically and violently killed in the Helldivers 2 movie? It doesn't have to be someone you dislike. It would just be someone that might be ironic or funny.
I do think Chris Pratt is a good one. I wouldn't mind seeing him like torn limb from limb, but like 6 bugs.
Or like he's trying to do
with the person you hate. Cool, I like it.
He's trying to do the whole thing from Jurassic Park, like to some bugs where he's like doing the standoff or whatever,
and
they just come in and rip him to shreds.
Yep.
I don't know. I can't answer that off the top of my head.
Fair enough.
Who would you like to see, Ryan?
Well, Willem Dafoe is the first one that comes to mind, and then just gets ripped to shreds after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess they would have to be alive. You couldn't use like AI, right?
Nah.
No, you can't do that. You actually have to have the live, unless they gave their approval for an AI.
No, I'm thinking like historical, right? Like all the presidents show up.
Oh.
Right?
And by God, it's Abe Lincoln with the chair. Puzzle says William Shatner would make for a great death scene.
Yes. Yes.
Bring Elon Musk. Yes.
Yeah, I was wondering,
100%.
we're sticking strictly to like actors and singers as opposed to
No.
like, political figures? Because if it's
No.
political figures, we could just send all of them straight to the mulcher
Yup.
in the movie, and it would be cathartic.
I can't.
Everybody who's a right wing would go to the right. Everybody's left would go to the left.
That's funny. Simon Astor says, reverse twist, Sean Bean somehow survives after narrowly escaping death repeatedly.
Oh, I love that.
And then it makes the headline: Sean Bean survives entire movie.
He hasn't died in every single movie. He didn't die in National Treasure.
Oh, that's right. He was in National Treasure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was a mistake.
That's
They forgot
in
to
the
film that
direct.
scene. Thing.
Yeah, in the director's cut, he dies horribly.
But I also think this would be fun because, like, was it Daniel Craig who had a cameo that nobody knew about in The Force Awakens, where he played
Yes.
a stormtrooper?
Yes.
Like, people love that kind of stuff, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
think actors like to do it. So I think this is a great idea, and it would help drum up interest in this movie from people who don't know what the hell Helldivers is.
Good point.
Mayonnaise Chase says, The Rock, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black have to die for sure.
Oh, God.
Mhm.
I think I'm done seeing those three in any movies whatsoever for a while.
But if they were only in the movie for about 20 seconds.
That's fine. That's fine. But not billed as the main talent.
Well, I mean, if you really want to see Jack Black die, just watch The Jackal.
Ah, you're right. He gets destroyed, ripped
he
up
does.
in that movie. Hold out your hand. Boom.
Yep.
Told you it was off. All right, next up. Balatro has passed 5 million copies sold as the developer implores fans to play more indie games. The news was shared on Tuesday on the Balatro Twitter/X account. The last few weeks have been pretty wild, the post reads. To everyone who picked up Balatro after seeing it at the Game Awards, we hope you're having an amazing time with it. If this is your first time picking up an indie title, try to make it a habit. There's some amazing stuff out there. Local Thunk, as the game's solo developer is known, released a list of his favorite indie games at the start of this year, with his top pick being Animal Well. Balatro was released in February last year, really? And is available across PC, Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile devices. It won Best Mobile Game, Best Debut Indie Game, and Best Independent Game at the Game Awards 2024. 2 months after its release on mobile, a report estimated the game had generated almost $4.4 million on mobile alone.
Sorry, real quick, back to the last one. Mayonnaise Chase says, guys, I just came up with a way to bring Twisted Metal back to life. Twisted Metal and Fast and Furious crossover.
Twisted Metal X Fast and Furious family. Ugh.
See, though, that's a cast that we could also have die horribly in the Helldivers movie.
Too soon?
Oh, not Paul Walker, though.
Yeah, he's already went through it once. Yeah.
Anyway.
I didn't realize Balatro was released back in February.
Yeah, it just recently became like this sensation. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think we probably talked about it back in February when it came out. It probably wasn't even, like, the premise doesn't sound that interesting. And it was only through word of mouth that this thing kind of took off and became this viral sensation, and now everybody loves it. And it's basically video game crack.
It is like, I feel like Chris Rock in New Jack City. I cannot put the crack pipe down. It's fun. And I first heard of it whenever you were talking about it, Blue, a couple episodes ago, or not a couple episodes, but a while ago, where you said something about the card game and how it's gambling, but you're not
gambling.
Right. It's not gambling. You're earning money. You're spending that money to increase your deck or better your deck, but it's not gambling whatsoever. You're not saying, oh, I'm going to bet money that I win on this one or not. And it's a ridiculously fun game. It makes you think. You've got to place the jokers in the right position sometimes to get the most multipliers and whatnot. And
The right position is important.
it's very important. I love the game. I that's
Yeah.
I stopped playing Breath of the Wild to start playing Balatro, and I'm hooked.
I will say I'm really impressed though with the developer here coming out with their own list. You know, often somebody who's gotten the celebrity and they appreciate it, and obviously they're hugely um, thankful to the fans, but to spread the love, using their platform to spread the love, I
Right.
think is it's a testament to them as a developer. I mean, Marty was impressed with the whole like Peggy 18
Right.
rigmarole, right?
Right.
um, so I think that this person is again kind of a role model for your average indie developer and setting people on the right path to find. Not everybody just has to play AAA games like that.
Of course.
Like there's more out
Mhm.
there, and I guarantee you, there's an indie game that will hit that sweet spot for you. Uh,
Right.
they're just hard to find because they just don't get as much, obviously, as much press.
Yeah. And then we spend the majority of this show talking about what's going on in the industry, and almost all the news is dominated by the big AAA publishing houses and developers.
Right.
And it's always a lot of drama and it's always a lot of bad news. And then it's kind of like the indies exist side by side with them rather quietly, just offering us all what we all really love about games and what we're looking for
Right.
about games. You have to work a little harder, like you said, to find those titles that really speak to you. But when you find them, they're amazing.
They're like the hobbits. They're blended in amongst taller people and the adults and everything. And you're just like, oh hey, who are you? Oh, come here. Let me play you for a little bit.
But they smell better than Aragon.
As we said, hobbits smell like feet and potatoes.
Potatoes.
Again, I think that's an improvement.
Aragorn grew up in Rivendell. He's always had the magic elf soap, the Riven
Did he?
douche. He's had
The
it with him
Riven
the entire time.
Magic elf soap.
It's the Old Spice jingle.
Elvish Spring.
Yeah. Oh,
Sam Disfaction says, "Got to find the indie games between all the hentai games." Those are the indie games, right?
Yeah, I was
Looking
gonna
for is the
say
hentai games.
maybe find the hentai games in between the indie.
oh. All right. And last up, or do we want to keep going and talk about something?
No, I think
Let's
that's
go.
good.
Okay. Last up, director and writer David Lynch, known for his surreal work across film and television, has passed away at the age of 78. While Lynch is best known for his work on TV series such as Twin Peaks and films like Mulholland Drive, the creator is also a memorable part of PlayStation's history, responsible for several iconic PS2 adverts, which arrived with that unmistakable Lynchian brand of surrealism and shades of neo-noir. The most famous of these adverts is the brilliantly bonkers black and white affair known as Welcome to the Third Space. Kicking off with a wailing siren, a voice asks through a speaker, "Where are we?" A man walks through a corridor, his head detaches from his body, it reattaches, an arm comes out from his mouth. "Welcome to the third place. Third place. Welcome to the third place," quacks a suited duck. Posting on social media, Remedy boss and Alan Wake writer Sam Lake shared his sadness at Lynch's passing. "David Lynch has been a huge inspiration to me and a huge influence on my work," he wrote. Rest in peace.
So I just posted the link in the chat for that PS2 commercial that David Lynch did. So if you haven't seen it, definitely click on that link and check it out because it is so weird. It's all the weirdness that you love about David Lynch and the 90s, like mixed together. And I didn't see this at the time it came
Yeah.
out. I only saw it later
too.
thanks to YouTube. But I can only imagine sitting there already like elbows deep in the hype waiting for the PS2 to be released and seeing that commercial and be like, wait, what am I buying again?
Were you high at the time? Like, what is this?
What the hell is happening? Yeah.
Oddly enough, it's not the weirdest PS2 advert I've ever seen. The one with the baby. I think.
Yeah,
that might be the
yeah.
weirdest one.
Yeah. Was that one of his too?
It could be. It's definitely his flavor.
Yeah. See, when I went to film school, I mean, like David Lynch is who everybody wants to be because in film school, it's kind of a competition to see who can just be weirder and just more out there and just like shock each other.
Yeah.
So like David Lynch was our role model. I wrote papers on him. Such a big fan of Mulholland Drive and Lost Highway. And yeah, it's really sad.
I have never seen a David Lynch movie.
Oh my fucking God, Donnie.
Yeah. Like Mulholland Drive, I've heard of it. Lost Highway, I know of that movie. It's a great freaking
Eraserhead,
soundtrack.
not even Eraserhead?
Never seen Eraserhead.
Oh.
Just like you with a lot of comedies and stuff like that. I like David Lynch has just been out of my wheelhouse. I never saw Twin Peaks, was never into it, so I really don't know what I'm missing. So I might have some homework here.
Yeah, I can give you a watch list if you like.
Okay, sure, that's fine.
I mean, not even like the 80s Dune movie. You didn't even watch that?
No, it was
No.
not the greatest.
No.
No.
In all honesty, I think I made 10 minutes in that one. I was like, I cannot do this.
Check it out.
It's so bad.
I mean, obviously, hate to see an icon like David Lynch passing, right?
Mhm.
Because we no longer have his genius. But the beauty of it, of course, being an artist in the era in which he was around, is that we can enjoy his work many times over, right? So I think that if Blue, and I would actually beg you, if you're going to put together a list of stuff, post it in the Discord. As
Yeah.
a recommendation for people. Yeah, I think it would be
I
kind of
shall do so. I shall do so.
Like you shall
You
douche.
won't like any of
so.
them. I can guarantee it.
She shall douche. So, Mulholland Drive, I've never seen, but there was one that was like when I think of Mulholland Drive, I kind of think of LA Confidential a little bit. I don't know why. It's probably, I don't know if it's set in the same time frame, but LA Confidential I really liked. And I didn't really see that movie up until like maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't know if Mulholland Drive would have the same effect or impact.
You won't like any of them. I can almost guarantee. They're the kind of movies that you go to a midnight showing at an indie theater for.
Okay.
And like, there's only the weirdos are there. Like, those are those kind of movies.
Well, I mean, I'm at home with weirdos, so it's not like I'll be out of my element. But yeah, it just as long as the story's good and it's interesting, yeah, sure.
So that's the thing. David Lynch made his movies where it's like, it's not about the story, it's about the experience that you feel watching it, and it doesn't have to make sense.
Right.
The meaning is what you make it,
Okay.
which is why I think you won't like them. But
I'll give it a try. I'll give it the
you
old
should
college try.
still watch at least one. Just be
Sure.
anybody in the chat who's never seen a David Lynch film, because the main eight's Chase is also saying that he hasn't seen any. Watch at least one, just so you can say you have.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds like a plan. Simon Ashtier says, a friend told me that I absolutely had to watch Mulholland Drive. Oh my God, it was so good. You'll love it. It'll change your life. We're no longer friends.
Told you.
So
Puzzle Better says, my Sunday night watch group is doing Eraserhead on Sunday, so I'll get a feel for it. Yeah.
Nice.
okay. So you're telling me to watch these David Lynch movies, and I go and watch them, and then is that really worth gambling our friendship on? Because it just happened with Simon Ashtier, and
All right. So
You
I'm
lost a
going to make
friend.
an executive decision here, because if the two of you aren't friends, then I don't get to podcast. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to be very selfish. Very, very selfish.
Okay, here's what we'll do. Just imagine that PS2 commercial was a full-length movie.
it was creepy. Like I'm like, what does this have to do with PlayStation?
It's about the experience now.
Okay.
What does it mean to you
It's like
inside?
the Eddie Izzard joke where he's like, man, commercials are weird nowadays. It's like you got these two rabbits that are sitting on a log, and then one goes home and hangs himself, and then it just says, buy a bike.
Oh wow.
Okay, yeah.
All right, I'll give it a shot though. Our friendship can sustain one David Lynch movie.
I think so.
All right. All right. Well, let's move on to our top 3 new releases.
All right, first up is Mark of the Deep, out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Mark of the Deep is an epic, pirate-themed adventure with a strong narrative and a thrilling mix of Metroidvania and Souls-like elements. Embark on this journey, explore the mysteries of a cursed island, and find your missing pirate crew. This 100% looks like Pirate Hades. Next up is Synduality Echo of Ada, out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. In this PvPvE extraction shooter, aided by an AI partner known as Magus, players must survive against xenomorphic creatures and other players in the hunt for resources. And last up, Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles Remaster, out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Switch, and PC. Take back the Threed Royal Palace in this remake of the 2000 title for PlayStation and Dreamcast. You will have the power of the Force and your trusty lightsaber to help you ward off legions of battle droids, destroyer droids, assassins, and other creatures from Star Wars The Phantom Menace. So, out of these 3, what are you in for, Ryan?
All right, so I'm going to start off with Star Wars. I think Star Wars. I actually never played the Jedi Power Battles before, so looking at it though, it looks very still PS1-y.
It does.
Yeah. So when I hear remaster, I think it would improve it beyond polygonal hell, and it has not. That being said, I do like the fact that they added, it looks like online co-op, so that's kind of cool. That seems to be like something that I would be interested in doing potentially. But I just don't know if there's enough pop pizzazz, and the art style is atrocious, that this would be something I would want to pick up like day one.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings me to Mark of the Deep. It looks awesome. Really, really cool. I love the signature moves that you can do with it. The one thing that bothers me about it is that you are so far away from the character that I don't know what I'm looking at half of the time. At least that's what the trailers showed me, right? You look like you're a little ant on this big map, and as far as things go, you may not be able to see yourself, is what it looks like, and considering it's so dark as well. Um, so that's one concern I have, because I'm old and I've got old eyes. So yeah.
See, Frank says, I'd say it's very Dreamcasty.
Oh, it's fair, and it probably is Dreamcast originally, but it just looks like a PS1 game. If you were to show me it, that's what I would have guessed.
Exactly.
So that's Synduality, which looks kind of interesting in the sense that it seems like it's a mech warrior game, right? I mean, you're in like a mech suit, and
No, I think the mech suit is following you. That's
Yeah,
your
that's the AI.
partner.
Got it. Which, I mean, I love mech games. Those are fun. There's a little bit of anime look to it, though. You know, me and my moratorium on anime games. So.
Unless it's hentai.
That's not anime. So I guess if I had to pick one for this week, Mark of the Deep is more than likely the one that I would be most interested in. I think it's just the action on it alone looks super cool. But again, only concern is that my old eyes will struggle to play through a long session of it. But yeah, Mark of the Deep is my vote for this week.
Huh. I thought for sure the Metroidvania would put you off that one.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought he was going to say.
I'm trying this year.
Is that going to be your gaming resolution? I'm going to play 3 Metroidvania for 3 hours each, and then
I can guarantee one. That's what all I will guarantee.
December 25th comes around.
Yeah, December 25th comes around, and you play 1 for like an hour.
Simon S. Cheer says, Pirate Hades sold, and then said, Pirate Ant Hades? Still sold.
Still sold. What are you in for, Donnie?
I'm in the boat with Ryan. Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles Remastered doesn't look great at all. I'm sure a lot of people have some nostalgia for it. I've never played it. And when you do a remaster, or when you hear the word remaster, you think polished as hell. brought up to newer graphics, just like with the Silent Hill 2 remake and all that stuff. And this is not it. So I'm passing on this one. Synduality, Echo of Ada. You lost me at PvPvE extraction shooter. I'm getting very tired of the whole shooter genre. It's something I'm stepping back from. So I'm not picking this one up. Mark of the Deep, however, when I saw the trailer, it immediately made me think of Diablo, the original Diablo isometric with a very cool color palette and its pirate theme. So who doesn't love a good pirate? I'm going with Mark of the Deep this week.
All right.
Blue, what are you choosing this week?
So, Jedi Power Battles. Like you guys, I'm going to go ahead and pass on this. I don't have any nostalgia for this game, and I have even less nostalgia for everything The Phantom Menace. So, no thank you on that one.
I'm so surprised.
I know. Shocker. Shocker. I usually love Star Wars games so much.
Shocker?
Synduality, Echo of Ada, yep, PvPvE, extraction shooter, all my favorite words. So, no thank you on that one. I am interested to see, can they even get enough of a player base to make this game like viable or not?
Right.
Surely these developers must have seen the collapse of Concord and went, shit. And then Mark of the Deep. Yeah, this looks awesome. Pirate Hades, 1000% in. I love Metroidvanias, love Souls-like, love pirates. Let's do it. I want to get that right now.
Awesome. It is a clean sweep this week for was it Mark of the Deep? Yeah, Mark of the Deep.
Mark of the
I
Deep.
keep thinking of Still Wakes the Deep. God, that game still haunts
Different
my
deep.
dreams. Yeah, yeah. Hashtag so deep.
So deep. All right, before we move on, let's take a quick break to talk about our sponsor. This segment is proudly sponsored by A Gamer Looks at 4D podcast. The show explores the history of video games through the stories and experiences of the people who lived it. On this week's episode, Bill and his guests continue his Final Fantasy VII series by sharing his first impressions and initial thoughts about this incredible, enduring title. This week's question is, what's a game that absolutely wowed you from the very first screen? Let Bill know your answer by sending him a tweet at A Gamer Looks at 40 on Twitter and Blue Sky.
Webhead says, Ryan and Donnie like it deep, I see.
You know me.
Yes, we do.
So I'm gonna cheat on this one and actually say for me it was Final Fantasy VII. So as soon as like you hit start new game, it has this broad view of the city of Midgar, and you're coming down into it, right? And then all of a sudden you realize that now you're on top of a train, and the train is going through, and
Yep.
you know it's just intense. And then all of a sudden, as soon as the train stops, it's like action starts, right? All of a sudden you're jumping off the train, and you got that music, the music. Oh, I was hooked from that first scene, hands down. So
Amazing
that's the one that,
cinematic.
like, yeah, just and I mean, especially at the time, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, you're like, all right, it looks all right. But
Looks very PS1-y.
exactly, very PS1.
Dreamcasty. Dreamcasty is what we're calling it. So 3 immediately came to mind for me. Most recently was Astrobot, which
Okay.
that game is that series is always amazing right from the beginning. They know how to hook you. The next one that came to mind was Ghost of Tsushima,
Yeah.
which that was the most gorgeous game on the PS4, and I'll fight anybody who says otherwise. And then Kingdom Hearts. From that first opening menu theme, like as soon as that first piano melody started, I was like, that's it. This game has my heart. And that's all it took.
Is that the dearly beloved song from piano theme from Kingdom Hearts?
Mhm.
Okay.
You know it
I do know that
because it's good.
one.
Sam Disfaction says Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Zelda Breath of the Wild for me. Breath of the Wild's another good one.
Nice. I have to say Metal Gear Solid. That game initially, like the dark orchestral sound when Snake is going through the water, he's in his suit and he's swimming underneath the Outer Haven base and whatnot, and you hear the people talking, starting off with the story. and it set the tone for me. And I was like, it's like 100% hands down. I'm going to finish this game. I'm going to play this game until the wheels fall off, learn everything about it, know everything, all the lore. I'm all in for this game.
Nice. Simon Asher says, a game that absolutely wowed me from the very beginning was Unreal. The 3D-ness, the smooth frame rate, the brand new video card helped, the impossible alien world, the swooping camera. The game didn't quite match, but that intro was something special. And Webhead says, oh, somebody say otherwise about Ghost of Tsushima. I want to see Blue punch a bitch.
Is Blue Williams going to have to choke a bitch? All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Donnie G Retro, and I'm your host this evening, but I'm also going to be your host for a little trivia that we've got going on. We're playing trivia this evening, and our contestants, Ryan and Blue, will be going head-to-head against each other to see who reigns supreme, who has the title of Trivia Daddy. Can Blue pull off Podcast Daddy and Trivia Daddy? That remains to be seen. But you guys can play along at home. I'm just going to ask Ryan and Blue not to look at chat until after the answer has been, until we've established the answer. So if you guys could just be on the honor system and all that stuff, let us know. I would appreciate that. Thank you. Now,
Yes,
we have
satisfaction.
We have 4 categories: games, movies, music, and sports. 5 questions for each category, 1 point for each question. 1 question in each category is a daily double. That means you can wager your points on this particular question. So the person with the most points at the end of the trivia is Trivia Daddy. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So we have games, sports, movies, and music. I will say, Ryan, you get to go first. Choose your category.
I'm going to go with movies.
Okay. The lead actor in this 2008 film about a New York cop seeking revenge has been known to hang around with a funky bunch of people.
Let's say who is.
Remember okay, so I'll read the question again. The lead actor in this 2008.
No, do I have to say who is?
Yes. Who is, what is? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who is Mark Wahlberg?
Incorrect. You didn't read the question, or you didn't listen to the question.
Said who's the actor?
The lead actor in this 2008 film.
Okay.
In this, so I'm asking for the film.
Oh, God.
The lead actor in this 2008 film has been known to hang around with a funky bunch of people.
Oh, then I have no idea.
Blue, would you like to steal?
A cop seeking revenge? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
I normally watch everything that Mark Wahlberg is in. I don't know how I missed this one. No, sorry, I don't know.
Okay, so I'm going to go. No, neither one of you know it. The answer we're looking for is Max Payne.
Oh, I refuse to see that movie because I hate Max Payne.
Well, why do you hate Max Payne?
Because everyone called me that when that game came out, and I hated it.
Okay.
I mean, there's so many worse things you could be called than like an action hero.
Right?
Cool. After a cool game.
Retro AF, I agree with you. Boo these people. They both got it wrong. Boo! Now, in Ryan's defense, I will say that it probably was a little bit of confusing for the question. Yeah, I apologize for that. Blue, you're up. What category would you like?
Games.
Games, okay. This video game system had only 1 controller port on it. You had to daisy chain the controllers together for multiplayer.
I don't know.
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
Ryan, would you like to steal?
I believe it's the Panasonic 3DO.
Correct. Ryan gets 1 point. Ryan, you're up.
I'm going to go with music, and I'm going to lose this one because you like all those like weird, obscure bands from the early 90s, so wish me luck.
In the song Juicy, this 90s rap artist regaled us with the tale of having both a Super Nintendo and a Sega Genesis.
Oh shit! And it's the artist who I'm naming, right?
Correct. In the song Juicy,
It's right on the tip of my tongue.
this 90s rap artist regaled us with the tale of having both a Super Nintendo and a Sega Genesis.
It's living the dream, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on this one. I can't.
Blue, do you know it?
So mad at myself.
Oh, I have no idea.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. The Notorious B.I.G. Yes, and Ramboski, he got it right in the chat.
Yeah.
There you
So
go. I think the
nobody.
chat's going to end up being Trivia Daddy, if I'm honest.
Blue, you're up.
Sports. And again, I'm not going to get
Okay.
this.
This boxing game used full motion video, which made people feel like they were on the next level of gaming. Ryan's rubbing his hands. I think he might have an idea.
I have no idea the name of any boxing games.
Ryan, would you like to steal?
I'm gonna take a stab at this. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's Ring King.
Incorrect.
Oh God, I'm like
The title
close,
is
though.
Prize Fighter for the Sega CD.
Prize Fighter. That's what it is. Yes, I know
Yeah.
the game. I can see it. I can picture what it looks like.
Yes, Simon Astor, it was the Sega CD. Now, you guys will notice that I'm dropping a little bit, some hints inside of the questions that might lead you to, yeah, because I didn't want to put Sega CD in there because I think you might have gotten it like off the rip. Blue, you're up.
I just picked sports.
Oh, that's right. Ryan, you're up.
I'm gonna go with movies.
Movies. In this 1997 sequel, audiences performed a fatality by only spending $51.3 million to see it.
It is Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
That is correct.
Damn it. He got the easy one.
How come you give him the easy
Hip-Hop
one?
Anonymous?
All right, so Ryan, since you got that one correct, go ahead. Choose your category.
I just chose it, so technically it's blues.
Well, since you got the answer correct, you would still get to go.
Oh,
If we're playing
going
Jeopardy rules.
Jeopardy.
But you know what? Go,
rules.
Blue, go ahead. Choose your category.
I'll go games again.
Okay. This video game dog who giggles at you when you miss your shots in Duck Hunt has a name.
Oh, really? Fido?
Incorrect. Ryan?
Asshole.
You're right. That's probably it.
His name is not Asshole. His name is Hunt. The dog's name is Hunt.
Really?
Yeah, it's, yeah. I just discovered that today, and I was like, I kind of made that same face.
No wonder that's not a well-known thing.
Right.
Everybody is just like, no, that's not a thing.
Ryan, the choice is yours.
Yeah, he's a real Hunt.
And he belongs to Mike. He's Mike's Hunt.
We're going to go with sports.
This running back titan was the first athlete to grace the cover of Madden Football.
Chris Johnson?
Incorrect.
Okay.
Blue. This running back titan was the first athlete to grace the cover of Madden Football.
Derrick Henry.
So disappointed in Ryan, especially. Eddie George.
Oh, yeah, good old
Eddie George was the first athlete on Madden Football.
The last, the oldest running back I could think of from the Titans was Chris Johnson. So.
Yeah, I get it. Blue, you're up.
music? Is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Music.
The musician is responsible but not credited for producing the music to Sonic the Hedgehog 3. They both
Michael
perked
Jackson.
up. Yes, you are correct.
I got a point.
Blue coming in with the point. Ryan?
I'm going to go with games.
Games. This is the Daily Double. Bidoo, 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 boo, boo. Ryan, you currently have 2 points. You can wager everything on this question, or 1 point or nothing.
Let it ride.
You're going to bet it all?
Bet it all.
All right. For 2 points, this game allows you to beat a boss fight not by fighting, but by changing the system's clock 1 week ahead and having the boss die from old age.
It's got to be past PS1 era. It's got to be PS2 or beyond. I have old age. Blue knows. Does she get my 2 points then?
Mm-mm. No.
Okay.
She only gets 1 point for it.
I don't know.
Right, Simon? Blue, do you have an answer for this?
It's Metal Gear 3, right?
Correct. Metal
That's
Gear
why I don't
Solid 3. Wow.
That's why I don't know it.
So we are tied at 2 points apiece. Blue, it's your choice.
Movies.
Movies. In this video game movie, we see someone get their skin ripped off and thrown at a group of people.
Silent Hill.
That is correct. Silent Hill. Blue coming. Blue is on top now with 3 points.
I don't mind when she's on top.
Yeah, it's like phrasing.
Me either. Ryan, your choice.
Is there any category that's done or?
Not yet.
Okay. Let's do music.
In the song Body Movin', this rap group declared, if you play Defender, I could be your hyperspace.
Is that Beastie Boys?
That is correct. Ryan coming with 1 point. Ding, 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 ding. They are both tied now. Blue, go ahead and pick a category.
Games.
You can still find this console in dentists' offices, and you don't even have to do the math.
Well, do the math would be the Jaguar, but didn't the Jaguar have like a dental add-on thing? I'm just gonna say the Atari Jaguar.
That is correct.
Okay, I was overthinking it.
So
Never
the
second
plastic
guess.
mold, the shell for the Atari Jaguar was sold for a company that produces like a
That's right.
X-ray
That's right. That's
machine,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Because I was thinking, because I think it was the Game Boy that had something for dentist office to like keep kids busy while they were giving them gas or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little thing where they would go.
Yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yep.
All right, Ryan, you're up.
Let's go with music again.
All right, music. In Childish Gambino's song Bonfire, he references this wacky duo who made their home with 2 titles on the Sega Genesis.
Home with 2 titles. It's Toe Jam and Earl.
You got it. It is Toe Jam and Earl. Nice job, buddy.
I knew Toe Jam, and I'm like, fuck, this is
Blue, you're up.
Let's go movies.
This 1999 sci-fi movie had a popular A-list movie actor in one of its video game series entries, although nobody forced him to do so.
Wing Commander.
Ding, 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 ding. You
I know
got
because
it.
I love that game, and I was so heartbroken by that movie.
Ryan, the choices. Go ahead.
Sorry,
Yes?
how many more questions are there?
Just a few more.
Okay.
Yeah. Ryan, the choice is yours.
Sports.
Sports. This is the Daily Double.
I would like to wager 3.
3 points. This famous PGA golfer has his own golf video game that was released in 1988, although no fighting can be found in the game like the title suggests.
It's Lee Trevino.
That your answer?
Yes.
That is correct. Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf.
Yes.
Ryan with 6 points.
Ouch.
Correct? Is it 6 or 7? I think you have
I think I have 7.
7. Okay,
Of course
7
you do.
points. All right. Blue, your choice.
Music.
All right. This is the last question in the music category. This is the Daily Double. Blue, how many points do you want to wager?
How many do I have?
I think you have 1,
Just 5.
2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's amazing. I have the same combination on my luggage.
See, Webhead says Ryan has 7 and I have 8.
I've got you down as 1, 2,
Yeah. I agree with Donnie on this one. 'cause
I
I've been-
agree with
Three.
I've been counting since.
4. Blue only
Okay,
has
so if I
5.
have 5 and Ryan has 7.
Yeah. Remember, Blue could not get his Daily Double. She could only get that 1 point. So Blue has 5. How many do you want to wager?
So then I need to wager 3 for the win.
Correct. And then we'll do one more question after this, and it will be a Daily Double that both of you could do.
Okay.
Okay, so how many do you want to wager?
3.
3. Okay, for 3 points and the lead. This 90s group has a song in which Pac-Man shows up high on crack and calls the members of this band pussies for not wanting to partake.
The Bloodhound Gang. I don't know.
That is correct.
No way!
Yes,
Ah!
it's the song called Mope.
Ah.
Wow. Okay.
so- I thought I was
think we need-
doomed.
Yeah, I think we need video evidence of how she pulled that out of her ass.
Hey, I've been known to pull out a trivia question out of my ass just out of the blue.
Yeah,
before,
you did.
so-
I was just thinking, what 90s group just wrote weird shit? The Bloodhound Gang.
All right. This is the final question, and this is for Trivia Daddy Supremacy. Okay. Here we go. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
So, how many points do both of you want to wager?
What's the category?
You don't know that.
Oh.
So I'm ahead by 1.
By one.
Correct.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I'll wager 4 points.
Ryan is going to wager 4 points.
So then if he wins, he gets 8.
That'll put him at
You
11.
have to wager 4 to stay in the lead.
Thank you, 4.
4.
Carry the 2. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to be fair. I'm going to just go and say I'll need the answer from both of you.
Why don't we do this? I'll take my headphones off.
Okay, sure.
You ask her the question, I'll take my headphones off. And then, Donnie, you give me like a thumbs up when you're ready. And if we both get the question right, then we both get points.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. I'm ready.
Go ahead. This video game is aptly named as its creator thought it would be his final video game due to financial difficulties.
Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Or
Take
you're
off.
asking for the creator?
No.
the series.
Just the video game itself.
Okay.
So
yeah,
your
Final
guess is
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. Ryan,
Mhm.
go ahead. Take your headphones off. Ryan, go ahead.
All right.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. This video game is aptly named as its creator thought it would be his final video game due to financial difficulties.
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. Blue, go ahead and put your headphones back on.
Ryan knew it too.
So Blue wagered 4 points. Ryan wagered 3. Is that correct?
I Richard 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Blue was ahead by 1 point, and they both wagered 4 points. The question was, this video game is aptly named as its creator thought it would be his final video game due to financial difficulties. Ryan said Final Fantasy. Blue said Final Fantasy. The correct answer is Final Fantasy. You both got it right, but son of a bitch.
Does that mean I'm trivia daddy?
For this month, yes.
Yeah.
Ah,
for
I think
this
that's what
particular-
that means.
You need a big, like obnoxiously big gold chain that says daddy.
Oh. I am so gonna buy one of those too.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
thank
buy one
you.
of those, and I am gonna wear it for the show.
Please do. That would be amazing. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in for our trivia session tonight. We appreciate Ryan and Blue being gracious participants, and everybody playing at home with the home game. Thank you, and thank you. That about wraps it up for this week's episode of Gamers Week Podcast. Thank you for listening to episode 149 of Gamers Week Podcast, and a big thank you to the Retro Game Club Podcast, Love Retro BTW, A Gamer Looks at 40 Podcast, and Pixel Pond Production Company for sponsoring this episode. Don't forget to check out their links in the show notes. If you want to connect with Gamers Week, follow us on X and Blue Sky at Gamers Week PC.
Ew.
Watch us.
Ooh.
I know, I'm sorry. Watch us right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Gamers Week Podcast, where we will record live every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Email us at gamersweekpodcast@gmail.com. Visit our merch store at gamers-week-podcast.creator-spring.com. Or if you want to do it the easy way, follow the link in the show notes. And last but not least, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/gamersweek. And finally, since you made it all the way to the end of this episode, please leave us a rating and a review to let us know how we did. We really do value your feedback. While you're there, consider subscribing on iTunes, Spotify, or your podcast platform of choice. And you can also send us in some letters letting us know how we messed up.
I do like this.
Yes, I actually love those. So please send those in. We love the interaction
Ryan
with you guys.
has a pedantic kink, so please, he needs some new material.
You're not
And
wrong.
Sam Disfaction says double daddy.
Double?
Double daddy.
I don't know if I like that at all.
It's like you can order her from In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, a double? Yeah, I'm gonna get a
I'll have
double.
the double daddy animal style.
Nice.
Thank you so much, everybody, for
Yes, thank
joining
you,
us tonight.
everyone.
We really do appreciate you. We will see you on YouTube on Monday whenever we do an actual uncut episode, and then back here live next week for our 150th episode. We can't wait, and I hope you can't wait either. We are going to go ahead and raid Vance Velez right now, who's playing some Monster Hunter Rise. So go ahead and hang out with Vance for a little bit, and we will see you guys either on Monday on YouTube or Wednesday on back here on Twitch. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you later. Take care.
Bye.
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 Double daddy.